Hello.
Hello.
We're live.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Hey,
I just shared us out, Ken.
look who we have.
My goodness, it's a surprise from me English friend.
It really is, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Well,
Have you started your day with tea and crumpets yet?
I actually have.
Congratulations.
Yes. I had them for breakfast with a little bit of milk mixed with my tea.
I think I may have erred in that I did not start my day that way.
Well. Don't really know what to respond to that.
Hello,
You
John.
had tea and crumpets for breakfast. I had them for lunch and dinner as well.
You're feeling a bit sassy, it looks like. Hello, Larry and Doug and
hey, Joan.
Brigitte.
There's
Jose.
Joan and
Here
Larry.
comes the parade of regulars.
Yeah, Brigitte. Say hello, Brigitte.
Hello. How do you pronounce it?
Brigitte.
Brigitte. I guess.
Brigitte. Oh, there's Weldon. He says, hey, I guess.
Hello.
You remember Weldon, right?
Yeah. I think.
And we have Doug Wing
Hello.
and Michael Scott. Not to be confused with the guy from The Office. The other Michael Scott.
The other Michael Scott.
That's right.
I want to say hi to my friend Nicole tonight, who may or may not be with us yet, but I mentioned to her that we do a program on Fridays, and driving through Dallas right now, Donovan. Wow, and we're sitting here live.
And
hello,
you're in Dallas.
Ricard.
And I'm just outside of Dallas in Marion, Ohio.
Right. Well, everything is just outside of Dallas if you have the time.
Right.
Wait, Marion's outside of Dallas?
No. It's
it is. Stephen Wright made that phrase popular when he said, "Everywhere is within walking distance, provided you have the time." Which I thought was a great line.
Isn't he the one that always would look down and go, I seem to have lost a buttonhole?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
He was working deep thoughts combined with the appeal of depression.
Yeah. He is such a funny comedian. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have any buttonholes.
You don't have any buttons. Hello, Roxy. Hello, Susan. We're just waiting. We're doing roll call right now. We'll get on into some.
Well, and somebody has dance early in the morning, so she has to scurry off to bed.
Yes, I do have to scurry off to bed, sadly.
Sadly.
I wish I could stay, but
have a lovely dance class tomorrow, dear.
Well, thank you very much. You have a lovely day tomorrow.
And did I mention to you happy October?
Oh, yes. Happy spooky season.
Is it all happy what season?
Spooky.
Oh, spooky.
Yes.
By the way, has it already started to get a little colder there?
Very much so. I don't really like it that much. I kind of want summer back. I'm not a huge fan of winter because, number one, allergies because they're horrible. And I just don't really I don't like not being able to go outside without a jacket. I don't like wearing jackets.
Well, don't wear it then.
Well, I'll freeze.
You'll thaw. It's not cold enough to freeze to death. It's 43. You'll just be really, really cold.
Is that what it is there now? 43 degrees?
At this moment, yeah. It's supposed to get down to like 35, I think, tonight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How cold is it in Texas? Probably not even close to what it is.
I'm going to find out right now. What is the Fahrenheit temperature in Dallas currently?
It's 64 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
There you go, 64.
64?
Oh, woo! Sorry about that. Woo!
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
64 degrees.
We have 30 years unity in Germany, 3rd of October. Time to celebrate and dance as well. Donovan says that it's 68 where he is.
Well, how was it so warm where you guys are? It was only like in the 60s during the day here. It's
Well, we're not
actually
exactly
do
next
that.
door, dear. We're not exactly next door. We're a ways apart.
We're a ways apart. He's way down south.
We should do an Abigail and Glenn show. That would be cool.
She said, "Did you hear what she just said, Glenn?"
She said we should do an Abigail and
Glenn show.
An Abigail and Glenn show.
Yeah, the British show.
Is it that easy to replace your father? Hey, don't do that. Don't do that, sweet girl. This is one of my cats thinking that it would be a good idea to destroy the furniture.
Oh. Well, my cat, he doesn't destroy the furniture. He destroys his weight management, honestly. He's a big, if I
He
must
destroys
say.
his weight management.
So he doesn't abide by feline weight management protocols?
No.
Wow.
I don't think he probably wouldn't fit in a leotard, do you think? I mean, unless
A leotard. It's 82 degrees in California.
sign me up, pack your bags. I'm going to California.
Oh my
I'm
God.
coming.
All right.
I really can't see any cat enjoying being placed in a leotard.
Probably not. I don't think he'd very much enjoy that.
I'm going to grab one of my guys. We have 7 of them. Let me grab one of them, my personal fave.
Okay.
And I'm going to show him to you guys.
Cat? Can I go get mine?
No, you can't go get yours.
Oh,
No.
my cat's really thick though and very long.
He's what?
He's very thick and very long.
Very thick?
Yeah, he's a
Oh.
thick cat.
He's a thick cat.
Oh, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. It's a little, it's a dimple. It's a little dimple.
Aww.
It looks like a little lion.
Yeah, he's huge. He's part Maine Coon, so he's a big guy.
Wow. He is.
He's a very big guy.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh,
a
you're holding
big kitty.
you're holding him like a baby. My cat scratches me when I do that because he hates me when I do that because all his fat sinks into his belly. And he really doesn't like it. But guess what? It's his fault. He eats too much.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Well, my guy loves me to hold him like this.
Wow.
He doesn't like me to hold him at all. And then he wonders why I chase him.
Look,
He wonders.
look at him.
Look at his eyes. He's so cute. How cute.
What's his name?
That's Chance.
Chance.
And I'm going to let him go.
Is he the one that was destroying the furniture?
No. He's a good guy.
He's a big one. Wow.
Yeah, he's the biggest of the 7. And
7?
we have 7 cats in the house.
Okay, you lost me at 7. You lost me at 7.
You lost me?
What?
Yeah, we have 7. And of the 7,
Ouch.
he is the most appreciative because on the night we found him, he probably had maybe a minute or 2 left to live when we found him because we found him on the freeway.
Wow.
And, cats don't live long on freeways.
No.
And
Well, I found my cat at a pizza shop eating out of a dumpster.
oh,
Probably
nice.
why he's fat. He ate pizza out of the darn dumpster.
Hey, he was telling a story.
Oh, he was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you have a cat that's into pepperoni?
Yes, very much so. But I don't really let him have any because he's a little bit
Big.
big.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to.
Well, yeah, don't let him get obese because that
Yeah.
won't be good for him.
He's not obese. He's got a weird underbelly swinging fat thing. It's weird.
Like a carriage.
Carriage. He's got a big pumpkin in that.
He has an undercarriage.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think he needs to maybe carve that pumpkin out.
So no, I actually swerved to miss him. If I hadn't seen him last minute and swerved, I would have killed him.
Wow.
And I was probably doing about 70 at the time. And I circled back around because there was nowhere I could stop. Went back around. He was at the very end of the on-ramp, and he just stepped into traffic. And it's a bridge, so there's nowhere he could go. There's no way he could escape. It was just a matter of time.
Wow.
And I blocked off traffic when I came back to the ramp, turned on my flashers, and we went down. And we knew we were going to find him. There was no question. It was just, would we find him alive? We knew he would be there, but is he going to be there or flattened? And he was there, huddled up against the side of the concrete wall, all scared, and cars zipping by. And it was It was a memorable night, and he was 3 weeks old.
Wow.
So somehow he had wandered away from his mama and gotten out on that ramp. There were no other cats anywhere near him, or I would have reunited him with his family, but and moved them all to and that's why we call him Chance, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's why we nicknamed him Chance, because he took a chance, because had he not stepped out and identified himself there, I wouldn't have seen him. He was so tiny, he would have blended in with the corner of the wall and kind of the drainage area that he was in. But he took a chance, and he kept an appointment. This is something that I talk a lot about in life, Abigail, which is that in life we have appointments that we are scheduled to keep, and that if we honor those appointments, things go very well in life. So he just kept his appointment with us, and it was beautiful.
My mom did the same thing. Like, there was this I'm just going to talk normally now because that's probably getting annoying. But
Wow.
My mom, there was this little baby black kitten, and then someone threw him out of the back of a pickup truck, and like in the middle of a parking lot. And
in the middle of a busy road.
In the middle of a busy road, sorry.
And then she stopped.
And she got out of the car and stopped all the traffic and picked him up, put him in the car, and took him home.
Nice.
And now he's with my grandma, and he's like 19 years old.
That's fabulous.
But
yeah. So tell everybody you have to go to dance in the morning.
Yeah, I have to go to dance in the morning, so I have to go to bed. Bed.
So say goodnight to Glenn.
Everyone, I hope you enjoy the show.
lean that way. Give him. Get this.
You were like strangling me.
Oh, it's like this.
Good night, darling.
Give me a kiss.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too, baby. Hang on, Glenn. All right, you got the stage.
Oh, are you heading off to tuck her in?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Your retainer.
So it's Friday night, Ken.
Okay.
It's our night. We've had a lot occur in our country in the last about 20 hours. And our job is to reach out and connect with everyone on Fridays and on Sunday evenings.
Yep.
What you want to talk about, amigo? I'm in a chill mood.
Well, I am. I'm not even going to give any energy to all the hatred I've seen online in the last 24 hours.
There's been a lot of it. I know that.
I'm not.
A lot of it.
Look, man, here's all I have to say. I don't give a flippin' flying leap what side of the aisle you're on. If you wish death on anybody, you're a piece of shit and unfriend me unfollow me, block me, and get out of my life. That's all I have to say. I don't care which side you're on. That's
Wow,
horrible.
you almost wish death on the people who wish death.
No, I said go on, move on with your life, get out of mine, stop following me.
No, but I mean, you
No.
were like one step shy of wishing them death. Like
No.
if you wish death on
No.
someone, I tell you,
I would never wish that on anyone, man. That's just a horrible, horrible, horrible existence. It blows me away that anyone could live in that place. Like, I don't get it. How do you go there? I don't understand that. But I do want to share something with everybody that is absolutely phenomenal and awesome and amazing. And that is, may I for just a moment, Glenn?
Please.
So
you want to go full screen and I'll wait patiently?
No, we can do this together, man. So, so Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and I was supposed to be in Utah, and we had a furnace breakdown, and it just got it fixed today. And it just a long story. I Doug Wing, love that dude. I'm not going to make it out there right now. Maybe in the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it all plays out. But anyway, so
well, you want to try to wait until there's snow and ice on the roads, right?
No, no. So what I want to announce is two things. Number one, this coming Tuesday, I have a book coming out where I'm a co-author with Dr. Bernie Siegel. He's one of the authors in the book.
Nice.
James Redfield, the author of the Celestine Prophecies, and I believe they made a movie out of it as well. He wrote the foreword in this book. There are a lot of amazing authors in this book. Dr. Reverend Temple Hayes is a co-author in the book, and some amazing people. And it comes out Tuesday. It's called Crappy to Happy. It is in my store at kenwalls.shop. Go grab you a copy of it, or a pre-order of it. It comes out Tuesday. So I'm excited about that, however, I'm also unbelievably excited, unbelievably grateful for what I'm holding in my hands right now.
Let me guess, the keys to our friendship.
No, that I think we already have that. No,
congratulations on your book, dude.
Thank you, man.
From Crappy to Happy. I love the title.
I know it's an awesome book too. So this I received in the mail today, and it's a I don't know what it's called. Go Live, Jeffrey Gitmer's new book that I am a contributing author in this. My story is in here, and I am absolutely like Jeffrey. I mean, he had me do my story. Thank you, man. Thank you. And anybody that doesn't know who Jeffrey is, he's written 18 books. He's been a New York Times bestselling author 4 times. He holds the Wall Street Journal bestseller list record for being on that consecutively 109 weeks in a row. And I'm in a book with him. Wow. And look at this. Look what he wrote in my at the top of my chapter.
Hold on, let me see if I can read it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And my story,
the master of live stream. Nice.
Absolute. And this is the working, but Jeff put wrote me a nice note. Great contribution. Grateful for your brilliance. Book 21. There's only 25 of these. And this book, Go Live, is also in my store at kenwalls.shop. If somebody would drop that link in for me in the comments, kenwalls.shop. And you can go over there to Books I Love. My original book is in there, The Walls of Wisdom. Crappy to Happy is in there, and Go Live is also in there. And I'm beyond grateful, man. This right here is like, there's 25 of these on the planet, and I have number 21 of 25. Not Kendall's.shop. Joe got it. Kenwalls.shop. I am so beyond grateful for all this that's unfolding and happening.
But I'm guessing you're not surprised.
I am actually. Yeah, I am. I'm. There it is. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Joe. I am. Dude, I'm actually a little bit shocked over all of it. I am surprised.
I think it's just wonderful when it rains abundantly. I think that's a cool condition.
It's amazing. And I got to tell you, man, like, I have had some hard freaking years in my life, man. And just to have so many amazing blessings unfolding in my life, man, it's like, you know, I just think, well, you heard Jeffrey say it, which, you know, he said it, and it just didn't sink all the way. And he said, good things happen for good people, or something to that effect. Or is that what he said? You were there. What was it he said? I forget.
I think he may have said good things happen to Ken Walls.
Well, it's just, you know, man, I'm blown away with gratitude.
What a great mindset to be in.
So
I want to mention, and this is not about what happened in Washington, D.C. last night and is continuing to unfold today, but it is what brought it to mind. And it was a discussion I'd like to bring you in on, and the folks that are watching along with us tonight, to bring them on, and people who watch subsequently in the replay of our Friday evening show. But in life in general, again, this is not connected to this, but I happen to hold the opinion that all of life is connected. So just in general, the whole idea of judgment, when we judge, it seems like the judgment is what links us to pride, and pride, in fact, does go before the fall. Yeah. And this is not an attempt to get biblical. It's just called, when we judge something, I think I'm gonna introduce a term tonight, Ken, called healthy judgment. And healthy judgment is when you look at something and decide for yourself. This is just an opinion I'm expressing. Decide for yourself. Hello, Donna K. Faulkner. We sure adore you. Enjoyed listening to you earlier. So when we judge something, I think there is a way that it can be done that causes no harm, and it actually is important. And I think what it is we judge it silently by simply saying this: as I look at this, whatever it is, as I look at this way of being, this behavior, this circumstance, whatever, is this something that I would have for my own life? And if the answer is yes, then we do what we can to learn from it and to replicate it, to emulate it in some way, shape, or form. If it's not, then instead of ridiculing it or criticizing it, just look and make a mental note of it, that is not something that I would want for me, and quietly do the learning to yourself.
Right.
Just quietly move on down the highway of life and go, I've now been on the receiving end of that, or I've seen what it looks like from the outside in, and I would never want to be looking at that same view and see myself being the one that's doling out that behavior. And that's just called stepping outside of yourself. And apparently not it's not a habit that a lot of people are well rehearsed at, but it's certainly highly recommended to just step outside of yourself. I've often said, probably one of the greatest ways to evolve is to step outside of your own behavior and specifically place yourself on the receiving end of your own behavior. Yeah. So it's one thing to dole it out, but what would it be like to receive it? So for those of you who tend to raise your voice a lot, I've never met someone who enjoys being yelled at. Right. So if you don't enjoy being yelled at, what gives you the right to yell at other people? You know you don't want it done to you, therefore stop it. Yeah. I'll use the old therapist's advice of just stop it. Bob Newhart's sketch called "Stop It" online. It's hilarious. Yeah. And very much worth watching. For those of you who haven't seen it,
we've watched it on the show.
No, we've watched it, I think, even on this show. I don't know if we got in trouble for playing it, but just go to YouTube on your own time and just enter Bob Newhart "Stop It," and you'll have a really good laugh. But yeah, it's just do unto others. But I've taken note even in the last 24 hours of some behaviors that I don't necessarily feel the urge to comment on right now, but I looked at them and was reminded of how not to be and who not to be. And it doesn't need to turn into a post.
No.
It doesn't need to turn into something that somehow tries to draw attention to myself, but to rather look at it and learn from it and move on, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. We both saw the same stuff where Trump announced that him and Melania have COVID, and dude, I mean, it literally, I went from like, I cannot believe there are people that vibrate at this low level of life that were commenting on his post on Twitter. I saw his post on Twitter and I sent just praying hands, meaning, hey, my prayers are with you, whatever, right? I would have done the same thing if it would have been Biden, by the way. But and there were comments on there like saying, I hope it takes you quickly. I hope it ends your life. Good. Maybe it'll kill you. Crazy stuff, man.
And aren't we all human beings before we're party affiliated?
I mean, right? But what?
I mean, what happened to that remembrance?
I don't even like. I can't think of an enemy that I have that I would wish death on. That is insane. That I don't even like. Do people not understand that the vibrational level that you are putting out is exactly what you're going to get in return? Like, it literally is. Look at your life. Your life is a direct reflection of the energy that you've put out. It is. Here's the direct reflection of the energy that I've put out. The direct reflection. I just wrote another chapter in another book with Dr. Reverend Temple Hayes. The direct reflection of my life is like, it's really going well. And I think that my 18 years of recovery, that's about how long I drank. So I think I'm now at the place of, okay, maybe I've leveled up a little bit now, and I'm starting to become an adult. And so I just think that when you're putting off horribly bad energy and you're wishing death on another human being, I don't care. This is the thing too. Most people that say, I hate Trump or I hate Biden, bro, you wouldn't say that to their face. And if you had a chance to sit down with either one of them and have a conversation, you would be a complete jackass if you said, no, I hate him too much. Why? Well, you don't even know why you hate him. You're just, that's stupid. And to wish death on somebody is even dumber.
Easy.
Dude. It's like, come on, stop already. The energy you're putting out, you're going to bring to yourself, man. Quit it.
Do you have a heart monitor right now?
I do. It's called an Apple Watch. It will alert me, by the way, if I go into atrial whatever. So, yeah, we're good.
Does it double as a defibrillator?
No, we're screwed.
Okay.
if
All
we
right,
need
take it
that.
easy.
We
Here's my
are
pitch. Take it
screwed.
easy, okay?
We
Take it
are
easy.
screwed. And I had some salty pizza tonight, so
Congratulations on your new health plan.
Truth and sanity lives in perceiving the balance of positive and negative in every human being.
Yeah, we love our Donna Kay. Always good for a solid word.
Yes.
She speaketh the truth, Ken.
But what do you think? I mean, dude, you're hearing it from my side. Everybody,
what do I think? You know what I think. I agree with you. You and I differ in many ways, but not at our very core.
Right.
I think our differences are in the peripheral universe. They're not deep down. We both come from love. We both come from brotherhood. We both come from the desire to help others. We are both community-minded people.
Yeah.
And that's why we're friends. I don't need the mirror image of me in order to have a friendship with someone. And I certainly don't believe in surrounding myself with a bunch of sycophants who are afraid to stand up and tell you how they really feel about things.
Doug, wait, relax to the max, K-Dub. So
but, now, in general, we need to. I hold a spiritual belief. I hold many. May I share what one of them is, Ken? One of the beliefs that I really hold to be true is pointing at things.
Yeah.
Is that when we point at things, and specifically, I think one of the lowest vibrations there is making fun of another human being. And I don't mean playfully. I don't mean that, because we play with each other. I don't mean that. I mean nastily making fun of another human being, and especially when it's in an area that they don't have anything to do with. So
like saying, like, for example, Joe Ingram's gray beard just looks stupid.
Wow. You just went right out there. Maybe you need to learn from the point I'm getting ready to make.
Joe,
no, but for example, if whatever it is, let's say, for example, another human being is beginning to lose a step. Okay, just in general, lose a step. I can't imagine a lower vibration than to make fun of them for that. First of all, one, do you think that's the way they want it? We know the answer to that. No, it's not the way they want it. But for some people, that is the path that is theirs to walk. And more often than not, it's for reasons that we can't explain. I started feeling this way when I was a young kid. This was not something that showed up later in my life. I remember taking on a group of 4 guys, 4 against 1. And I was the one, because these young boys, I've never talked with you about this. I've never talked in public about it.
Wow.
And it just came up for me as a memory right now, as I'm thinking about this. I do believe in the saying, I am my brother's keeper. And so back in high school, and I was, physically fit. I could certainly take care of my own. I was not prone toward fighting, but was very capable of defending myself if need be. And I was also raised to have a bit of a backbone, as most young men are here in Texas. But there were 4 other young men, boys, that were in my same grade, who had cornered this challenged young man. They had other words they used in those years when it was less politically correct, which I won't use tonight, but they were calling him names.
Yeah.
And they were poking him. You talked about you couldn't believe some of the ugly in the world. Boy, I sure can. I sure can. That I think what's amazing is not just that it exists, Ken, but that it exists in droves. So here was a demonstration of this. So this challenged special needs, they didn't even have the term special needs back then in the 70s, or if they did, it wasn't used. I don't remember hearing that for many more years, but it was a special needs student, and everyone knew what his situation was. And 4 guys had cornered him and were poking him with a broom handle. Wow. And they were ramming it into him. and taking turns and laughing and handing off the handle, and then someone else would go at it. And
how old were you?
I would have been about 17.
Wow.
And I intervened and grabbed the handle from them and said, I'm going to hurt one of you really bad if you don't get out of here right now. I said, I also know that the 4 of you can do your thing with me, which is why I'm not going to fight all 4 of you, but I'm going to put this stick through one of your heads.
Wow.
And I want to tell you, in that moment, that is exactly what I would have done. I would have been capable of doing that. And I'm not a violent person. I'm not violent even slightly, but I was doing for someone else what they could not do for themselves in that moment. This young man was incapable of defending himself.
Mm.
And that was the beginning of a way of life for me. And my whole life, I have done what I can. I don't try to stick my nose in somebody else's business. I don't look for those opportunities, but I try to show up as a protector in the world when I see grotesque injustices being committed. It really, really bothers me how okay some people are with creating injustice and with causing problems for innocent people who are doing them no harm at all, but they're different, or they're less capable, or they're unattractive. And of course, we didn't use the word unattractive in those years. People would just be ugly and use the term ugly. They would say he's ugly or she's ugly or whatever. And it's like, first of all, we were all assigned the physical appearances we were assigned, and some are more attractive coming fresh off of the assembly line than others, and others have to work harder to shape the trophy that we won, at that initial race, to shape our bodies in a way that would be attractive. And a lot of time and energy is put into that. Anyway, I don't want to get too much off topic. There's been something about me that holds this belief. If you make fun of it, whatever it is, if you make fun of somebody for their situation, I believe you are literally cruising. You may remember this saying from growing up, cruising for a bruising.
Yeah.
Meaning that by making fun of it, you karmically set yourself up for trouble of any kind. Again, this is not about what's going on in Washington, D.C. I see this as a life truth. If you make fun of somebody because they're grotesquely overweight, get ready to have, if not weight troubles of your own, get ready to inherit karmically the same metaphorical equivalent where people will someday be making fun of you for something that you struggle with. So it doesn't always come back in the exact form. You could make fun of someone about their appearance, and you will find a way to be made fun of for something else. Yeah. So often in life, I just think it's best to avoid that low vibrational game of making fun of others. I think it's only for people who know zero about karma. They don't know about energy. They don't know that it's impossible to prosper if your game in life is that you do it at other people's expense. Now, it may seem like you do, but I think seem is the key word here, my brother. I think that people seem like they're winning, just like people think that money automatically buys happiness, or that celebrity does. Here's the deal. Until you've been at ground zero and you've seen it, and you've seen it a lot,
right?
Which I've been friends with loads of celebrities, and I can't tell you that they are any happier than anybody else.
It's true.
I can't tell you that they are, because I don't believe that they are. I think happiness is a decision,
Right. A lot are, but a lot are not. A lot are not. In fact, there's a story.
My point is that the celebrity is not what made them happy, Ken. The money is not what made them happy. That was a pre-existing condition.
Right. Exactly. Doug Wing said, I had this big bully in high school. He kept picking on me. One day he knocked me down and I dropped all my books. This kid saw it, grabbed that bully, slammed him up against the lockers, and told the bully if he ever touched me again, he was going to hurt him really bad.
So, Doug, that's who I was.
Yeah.
I was that guy.
That's me too. That's me too.
I was that guy that showed up and did that. And you know what? All four of them look, and it was like, I got respect in that moment while they looked at me, and they realized I was not kidding. And that was the end of that moment. Everybody cleared out.
Yeah. I think that people who are, again, I told you earlier that on our during our phone conversation, it literally, I was reading some of the just absolutely hateful messages that people were leaving on President Trump's Twitter feed, wishing him to die. And it literally brought tears to my eyes. It hurt my soul listening to that. Like,
yeah,
what? I don't care who it is. I mean, I'm sitting here feeling bad, thinking Joe might have taken my joke seriously, and I was kidding, and I think he knows that. But
why don't you just own it right now and make sure that he knows you were playing?
Joe, I love you, dude. I love you, man. So please don't take it. It was a joke. So, and I know he didn't. Him and I joke with each other.
Hold on. I'm getting a text from Joe.
Yeah.
Tell Ken he's a jerk.
Yeah, I'm sure. But, I think that we need to, Doug's right. Look, bullies in reality are cowards. They always pick on smaller or weaker kids.
Yeah, well, they choose their prey.
And that's not just with kids. There are adult bullies. I know a few of them, and they're literal bullies, and they're worthless. Worthless. I know some bullies that think they have a little bit of money that are worthless human beings that people absolutely despise being in their presence. And I'm talking about they have a lot of money. So I think, it definitely does. I love what I've heard people say. Having money only magnifies who you already are.
That's right. A pre-existing condition.
Yes. It magnifies what's already there. And so if you're an a-hole, having money is just,
you're an even bigger one. And if you're a little love kitten, you're an even bigger one.
You become a love lion.
with lots of cash.
With a lot of cash. That's right. So Teresa says, I work one of those guys, but his day will come. It always does. It always does. Charles says, Joe, put the razor down. Joe's like, I'm shaving this. He's gone. Joe left.
Well, let's hope he only means he's shaving.
Somebody tag Joe. Tag him. He left.
Make sure he's not doing something else with the razor, Ken.
Oh, geez.
I mean, that would really be it if Joe ended it over your comment.
Oh, Joe wouldn't do that. So, but the when you're spewing hatred on anybody, it's just going to come back to you. It literally is. And Lisa Patrick says it best.
What did Lisa say?
You'll have to look.
Oh, karma is a bit, yeah.
Hi, Lisa Patrick. How are you? Oh, here. Joe's still here. Joe isn't gone. He's crying in the corner, tugging on his beard. Oh, Lord have mercy. So, don't be a bully, man. Don't be hateful. It's just, I mean, not that it matters, because me saying that, if you're a hateful person, me saying that, you're just going to start hating on me. And
well, but here's where not being educated, you know, the saying that ignorance is bliss. I think that's kind of a kiddie pool understanding. I think there's some truth to that, but at the end of the day, you can be very hurt by what you don't know, what you're unaware of, and especially with regard to things like karma, for example. If you don't even understand the concept, you can be behaving, and I don't mean you can, I mean we, you, me, any of us.
Anyone.
If we don't know, we can be behaving in ways unintentionally that are not, as it turns out, in our best interest at all.
Right.
And it can wind up being such a sellout. And I want to throw this out there. I don't know if anyone else has ever had the feeling, but every so often, you know, one of the things human beings seem to need more than anything is to feel like they matter. So there is this ongoing, very prevalent quest for significance.
Yep.
Of any kind. And it's not necessarily global significance like we get in the film and TV business. It's just the thought of perishing one day and no one even knows you visited this world is a horrifying thought. So as a result of that, people are looking for some kind of significance. And in doing it, sometimes we sell out and we do things that are against ourselves.
Yep.
Because there's this quest for acceptance or admiration or popularity or whatever it is. So an example, I won't give a bunch, I'll give one, which is when you tell a joke that's really nasty. And I don't mean nasty as in dirty words. I don't mean that. And I like a good joke as much as anybody, but it's really at someone else's expense. And it's a nasty, nasty, crude, horrific joke. Why? Because it manages to make fun of someone that isn't you. It isn't you. It's somebody else.
Right.
And then afterward, you know, you get the chuckle of the guys that are around you and all that. And then the scene clears 30 minutes later or an hour later, and everybody goes back to their homes. And I'm in the car. I mean, I haven't done this in a very long time, but this is how I learned it. I'm in the car going, I didn't need to do that. Their opinion of me does not matter enough for me to lower my own standards to say something that I really don't even believe in, or I don't agree with, or I don't support. And it's interesting that the more I began to understand the laws of karma, the more careful and more precise I became about the decisions I make with regard to what I allow to come out of me in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm infinitely better off as a result, which is why I campaign for it quite often, because I think that, you know, this is one of the reasons I came up with my next book title, and it's called Had They Only Known, right? Yeah. It'll be either had they only known or if they'd only known. And how many behaviors would differ? It's just food for thought. It's really good food for thought. But how many behaviors would differ if people had a deeper understanding of what was going on up underneath the particular action they're taking or the thought they're running? What if they knew what the real cost was? Would they still do it? And I'm convinced that they wouldn't. I'm convinced that ignorance allows people to proceed unimpeded because they just don't grasp the price. And if they could understand, big dog, you're hurting you with this crap. You're hurting you. You're also hurting a lot of other people, but you're primarily hurting yourself and your own path. Life could be so much more prosperous. It could be so much less bumpy. You could have so many more people who really liked the human being that you were. You could live life with so much more ease and experience a very harmonious condition, except that you're reckless and you don't put any forethought in the actions you take at all.
Right.
You're like a pinball in life that's just bouncing all over the place. And I think that that journey can, from pinball to flipper, when you move from that modality of being a pinball, and in this same game, you become a flipper, which is a device that takes aim. and it's more intentional about the direction, whereas the pinball is just reactive. And I think the flipper is proactive. So anyway, I went on a bit of a deep dive in that, but I'm just seeing a lot of things like all those comments. I read a lot of the comments online today too. And it doesn't matter to me what side you're on. Ugly is ugly. And
yeah.
And whoever you're bad mouthing or wishing them ill, that is not in your best interest. And
Exactly.
many of them, I'm sure that has not even occurred to them. They're only thinking that it's about the other person. They don't see that it has any correlation with their own life vibrationally at all. In fact, there's a good chance they wouldn't know a vibration if it crawled up their friggin' pant leg and bit them in the ass.
Well, you know, I don't know if it was Confucius or whoever said, you know, I just lost it when I was trying to think of who said it. I lost it.
Well, you mentioned Confucius.
Yeah, no, I lost it. It'll come back. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, Joe's talking about adjusting the level of the pinball machine itself, which I think is great.
Yeah. So I think that everybody should drop a 1 if you support Joe Ingram's beautiful beard. Drop a 1 if you like his beard. I love his beard. It's a bit devilish. Joe's such a good dude, though. He connected me with Ron Siegel today. You know Ron, I understand.
Do I?
Yeah, he's has
a lot of Ron Siegels, man. That's
a radio
that's
show.
Like a show business name.
He has a radio show out in Orange County that you were on. His show.
I do know that Ron Siegel. Yes.
Yeah, I'm being interviewed on his radio show on Monday.
Nice. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. Joe made that happen. Look at all the 1s. My Lord, people love Joe's beard. Look at that. Anna says 11111 cry freedom.
I love what JR said here. He said revenge has 2 victims, and so does hate.
Oh.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very insightful, JR. Very true, too.
Confucius says he who stands on toilet is high on pot.
Yes. That's very good. Very good, Joe. We love you, dude.
The other one is if you're going to seek revenge, dig 2 graves.
Yeah. Is that the one you were trying to think of?
No, it's not. It's okay, though. So I think that, man.
Brigitte is concerned that I was getting angry, I guess.
Oh.
It's called passion, dear. I'm not angry. I'm very passionate about our condition, though. I'm extremely passionate about some of the nonsense. Yes, I've heard he who farts in church sits in pew. Did you see Brigitte's comment?
Look at Nicole. As a woman with a physical disability, when someone feels sorry for me, I simply say we are all dealing with someone. Some mental, some physical, and some are just cruel. And that is far worse affliction.
Yeah, so I met Nicole the other night at the contract discussion for the Screen Actors Guild, and we had a lovely encounter online. You know, the internet has brought me some really, really wonderful people.
Yeah. So
we chatted a bit, and I invited her to attend the event that we did last night, the panel that I was on, and it was lovely.
Is she an actress?
Yeah. So I'm glad you're here, Nicole. Yeah.
We'll have to invite her to hop on camera with us.
Yeah, I think she lives not far from Cat Hill. Oh,
she's in the Nashville area.
Nashville area.
Nice.
Yeah. So welcome, Nicole. We're glad you're
she
here.
Said something, not someone. So
Yeah,
as
I figured out.
with a physical disability, when someone feels sorry for me, I simply say we are all dealing with something.
Right.
Some mental, some physical, and some are just cruel. And that is a far worse affliction. Amen. Amen.
Yeah. So Nicole clearly gets what I'm referencing. So the thought is that that it's a one-way street, and it's not a one-way street. So whatever that energy is that we're directing toward people, it's coming back at us with at least double the intensity, I think. I mean, it's certainly, I've seen it. I haven't seen a lot of those lives go really well. And again, if they seem to, I think that's the word, is just seem. I don't think there's a lot of truth really in that at all. So don't get too caught up in the illusory aspects of life. We all know that what we see is not necessarily the full extent of what's there.
I got it. You helped me.
Oh, good. It came back. Good.
You cannot cause pain on someone else. You cannot inflict pain on someone else without causing the same pain for yourself.
Or greater, even, maybe.
Or greater. I found that, it goes back to the, I carry, I've shared this with you. I think I know I've shared it on air. I have in my wallet here the scripture from Malachi 3 that a pastor gave me 30 years ago ish, somewhere in there in a church. It was a dollar bill, brand new dollar bill stapled to it, and it was the scripture Malachi 3 that says, "Bring the whole tithe and offering into the storehouse so that my children may have food. Test me in this way, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing, you will not have enough room to store it all. I will prevent the pest from devouring your crops, etc., etc." And I've told you, people know my story, that when I was in the throes of being a raging alcoholic, I was homeless 4 different times. There were times when I didn't have money to eat for 2 days, 3 days at a time. I always somehow managed to drink, though. I don't know how, but I just figured barley and hops was a good diet. But anyway,
God, it sounds like a morning talk show.
I know. Oh, jeez.
At 95.5 KLOS Barley and Hops every Monday morning, 7 a.m.
Well, now I always make sure I have that with me at all times, man. I always have a $100 bill on me. It's like the break glass in case of emergency thing.
I'm with you, baby.
I always have a minimum of that. So now if you ever see me, you know that if you mug me, you'll at least get $100. So yeah.
I'm ready to go, baby.
I know. I know.
It's always going to be in my pocket, no matter what.
Yep. And it's the in case of emergency break glass. That's the only reason I have it. So I have I don't even know what my point was behind all that, dude. I think that, and I never spent that dollar bill is my point. And I keep that to remind, I keep that scripture to remind myself the importance of giving to other people, the importance of helping other people.
Yeah.
But and I know I don't help people so I get help. I don't give so I can get, but I do know this for a fact, that when I do, it's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable that the universe will return it back to me tenfold. But I believe the same thing to be true about spewing hatred and vileness into the world. I don't care if you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're in the middle, you're not affiliated with any party. I don't care who you are. When somebody is ill on any level, if you say, I hope they die, you are literally causing harm, not to them. In fact, I believe you're actually bringing help to them because you're making the universe go, oh, look at that. Let's counterbalance this hatred with some good for this person. So you're literally only causing harm to yourself. You're not causing harm to the other person. You're just not. You're putting out this awful energy that's going to come back to you, and sometimes instantly.
What if a gentle whisper reminded people, all people, that when you say anything you wish upon another, before you insert their name, you have to change it to yourself?
Yes.
And then see if you still feel like proceeding.
Yeah, it's true, man.
I mean, what if that's all you do, Ken? What if it's that simple adjustment?
When I was told early on in recovery that the only way I would be able to maintain long-term sobriety is to get rid of the resentments I had, and that the only way to get rid of the resentments I had was to forgive the people I was resentful toward.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I've said this before, I remember saying, when I was told to pray for this particular person, I said, are you high? I thought you were sober. You're supposed to be my sponsor. Like, I thought you were sober. You're high, obviously, if you think I'm going to pray. I'll pray for the SOB to burst into flames. He just laughed and he said, well, that's a start. But when you pray for somebody else and you say, the people that have harmed you, the worst in life, those are the ones that need your prayer the most. Those are the ones that need you to forgive them, not for their benefit, for your benefit. Mm-hmm. And it never made sense to me until I did it, man. It never really did, I swear. And I like to think I'm a little bit above the average level of intelligence. I couldn't wrap my brain around it in the beginning. I just couldn't. But when I finally said, fine, I'll pray for the person. And then I started saying, God bless them with everything in their life that I want and desire in mine. And when you start wanting people that are your enemies, the people that hurt you, when you start praying for them to be blessed in the ways that you wish to be blessed, like, no, don't give them a Lamborghini too. Okay.
Really? Is that the substantive nature of your prayers? Congratulations on your evolution, Ken.
I know.
God,
I knew.
God, give me a Lamborghini. Oh my God, that's funny.
I knew I could get you. But like, dude, I'm just saying, like you have to have, and it's so hard to do, man. It really is. It's hard. It's very difficult. I truly believe that that's where the presence of love, when you at least open up a little bit of your heart and say, okay, I'm not really down with this. I'm not really down with this, God, wherever you are. I'm not
working in the wings all the time, left or right. Is that what's going on?
I don't know where you are, dude. I'm talking about it in the beginning, but like, okay, I'm going to just tear open a little scar here and let you in and help me put out some forgiveness. If you just crack the door, man, just ever so slightly, you're opening the world. You're opening up the universe for yourself when it comes to forgiveness and blessings in life. Look, guy mentioned that I have a chapter in Jeffrey Gitomer's new book. Did I mention that?
Yeah, but twice is better than once, bud.
I'm just saying, like, man, it's amazing when you let go and get out of the way, man.
You know, forgiveness is one of those things that gets talked about a lot more than it gets practiced.
It's true.
You know, so I remember, I'm going to go a little bit against what I said the other night because we're on this subject and it's just the two of us anyway, and we're very much of kindred spirits in that realm. But where a program was being taught, a multi-week program on forgiveness at a church, and then it turned out that one of the leaders needed it. And all of a sudden, that was a whole different story. It's interesting. They were okay with teaching the course about it, but when one of their leaders needed it, and I don't mean the course, I don't mean the leader needed the course, I mean the leader needed forgiveness. The leader needed the very thing the course was teaching. It didn't seem to apply. And I think that's worth looking at, is how much of our spirituality, our wellness, how about just that, wellness in general, is just talk.
Yeah.
It's just talk. It makes the day go by. Hello, Leona. It sounds cool, or it sounds evolved, or it sounds sophisticated. But if we're not walking it, it's really cheap. In fact, it might even cheapen it more to be talking about it than to not, if you're not walking it, because it's empty. It's part of the presentational self. But I would just encourage all of us. Wow, that was attention getting. Like, good.
I'm trying
all of a sudden, good morning.
I'm trying to draw attention to what's scrolling across the bottom of the page. So if anybody wants to see your resume.
Wow. Even I want to go look at my resume now. It must be very special to have that kind of bright orange to it. No, but Bud, I was right in the middle of something really tender here.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Like, thanks for really recognizing my moment.
Bear,
right?
I'm sorry. Here, let me go back to a stale blue.
No, I'm just saying that I think you can only talk about the good life for so long.
Yeah.
And then finally, you got to get with the program or shut your trap. Just shut your yapper if all you want to do is talk about being kind, or talk about being nice, or talk about being forgiving. If you want to discuss forgiveness as a concept, it's kind of a waste if you get called to action and you can't deliver.
Right.
To me, the only point in studying something is so that when it's called for, you're able to deliver.
Right.
I wouldn't study how to change a tire so that when I needed to change a tire, I wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
The whole reason I would have been studying changing a tire is so that when a tire goes flat, I know exactly what to do here.
Right.
So again, I think so much of these things exist, Ken, in theory, but and I know this from being an acting coach for 36 years. There are so many actors who want to talk about being an actor. They don't want to be an actor for one reason, because they don't want to do the work that's involved. And there's a lot of work involved, a lot, if you're going to do it as a career choice. And there are a lot of pages that you have to tear out of the playbook. And you have to get down and get real and know that there's going to be tremendous sacrifice involved. You have to know in advance that you're going to be hearing the word no a lot, and that you remain true to the course. You stay the course. You are indefatigable when you hear the word no. In fact, if anything, not only are you not fatigued by it or thrown by it, you're actually energized by it. And every time you hear the word no or pass, or they're too young or too old or too skinny or too large or too bald or too redheaded or too white bearded, or their chest is too big, their chest is too small, their chin has a cleft in it, whatever their reasons are, you're going to have your inventory taken a lot. And every bit of it has to roll off of you like water off of a duck's back. Indefatigable and truly charged up by the would-be opposition, where it does actually get changed into fuel in your belly.
Yep.
And it's fire. You know, naysayers have never, ever hurt my path one bit, but I'll promise you they've energized my path.
Yep.
My whole life, I've always responded to naysayers quite favorably.
Me too, dude.
I'm trying to figure out some of these posts here. It says, "Oh, I need my glasses."
I think I want to.
Oh, Joe calls it "I'm gonna disease."
Yeah, I want to.
You think you want to what?
I want to share a video. I want to share one of the funniest people. I've seen this comedian live. He's in recovery, and he's been a comedian and an actor. I don't know about actor. He's been a comedian though for a long time. And he does, when he does, like he comes to Columbus, I think he's in LA. He comes to Columbus and he'll have like 2 nights where he does nothing but a recovery bit for people in recovery only. And then he'll do 2 nights for the general public. And I happened to go see him this one night during his recovery bit. And I mean, dude, this guy, he is the funniest comedian I think he's unbelievably inappropriate at times. But
so put it on. I've got to respond before you put it on. I've got to respond to 2 things. First of all, Joe, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
About gonna disease. And down here they call it fixin' to. Specifically, it brings up a line in metaphysics that it's great. And Joe, if you've never heard it, you're going to love this one, which is will do is not doing.
Right.
One of my greatest mentors in life taught me that one about 30 years ago. He said, will do is not doing, because folks will line up all day long telling you what they're going to do. I will do this, and I will do that, and I will do this. And what we can't help but notice is you're not doing it because you're too busy telling everybody what you're going to someday do. And the problem is that day never seems to show up.
Right.
So you're always referring to this mythical future. And Anna, did I get that right? It is Anna, right, Ken?
I believe, yeah.
No, I never had anyone tell me that I couldn't act, but I had a lot of people tell me that it was impossible to do it as a career choice. I didn't have anyone tell me they thought I sucked at it. That's honest. I'm not being boastful. No one ever said,
"Where's that?
You can't act." Nobody ever said to me, "You can't act." That would be hard to hear, I would think, but it was just, Glenn, you could do so many other things that would be more secure or more reliable, or what's your plan B? I mean, we talked about this on our live stream last night, and I've always thought that plan B was a plan for plan A to fail.
Yeah.
And that if you just don't even think in terms of there being a plan B, here's the thing. You'll work a lot harder on your plan A. I think the problem with a plan B, and I understand the safety aspect of it, but here's what I've seen plan Bs do to people, if I may be so bold, Ken. I think that plan Bs keep people from exerting the allness that they know to be true from their very core into their plan A, because they always know, I can fall back on that and all that. So they don't fully invest. When you fully invest in life, when you have to. And you've set it up that way from the friggin' get-go because you have to. And for me, it's a stakes change. I think we just have to ramp the stakes up, put yourself in the position where you have to do this. And if it's not going the way you would like it to go, then you adjust. and you physically open up the oven of your life and make tweakings to the dish you're cooking. What you don't do is sit around looking at the dish that's in the oven that you're cooking up, hoping that it will mutate into something else, right? You don't do that, but you do make adjustments. If you don't feel like you're getting out often enough, why are you still with the same agency? This is a common complaint that I hear with actors, where they're saying, you know, I just never get out. And I'll talk to them a year later, and they're complaining about the same thing. And I'll go, did you ever leave agents? Did you ever leave that agency? No. Well, then you've lost your right to complain about it, in my view, because you'd rather complain about it than do something about it. And I'm not into endless complaints.
Yeah.
I'm the wrong guy. For any of you who wonder, I'll hear your complaint, but if you don't move into action about the complaint, I won't hear your complaint again, because otherwise we're throwing complaints onto a hamster wheel, and you're not going to get any results with that.
What about Donna's question?
What if you make plan B so amazing that you can't even fail if plan A doesn't work? Certainly that's something that worked for you. I was real clear on what my plan A was. But what it sounds like, Donna, that you're talking about there, which I do believe in, is diversification. So but I don't think of it as a plan B. I think of it as a continuation of plan A.
Right.
I mean, I don't mean to get caught up in the words of it, but for example, I teach acting, but I don't teach it to fall back on. I teach acting because I love coaching more than I love anything. And during COVID, how great do you think it has been that my business didn't shut down? So making movies did. The film and TV world, it shut down for us in March. And if I didn't have my own studio where I teach online, you know, I would have just watched it all go away. And now I sit at the mercy of the elements, which is that's not an acceptable place for me. So I think one of the things that COVID did is I think that COVID revealed our resourcefulness or lack thereof. How resourceful are we? Because now this thing that you've been very secure in, guess what? It's gone. We don't know if it's gone permanently, but it's certainly not here right now. And if you're someone who had a job as a waiter, well, now you're fired because the restaurant is closed. Yep. So what you going to do? What you going to do when they come for you? Whatever it is, whatever your business is, if it's shut down and it's something somebody else created, if this is not, Ken, if this is not the ultimate emphasis or incentive really for becoming an entrepreneur, I don't know what is. Don't you, I'm asking all of you right now, and you can drop a 1 if this speaks to your heart. Don't you get tired in life of depending on things you have no control over whatsoever? I mean, you don't want to put all of your chips in somebody else's basket. You know, they say don't put your chips all in one basket. How about don't put them all in somebody else's basket, where you need the industry to not shut down or your ass is cooked. So what if you diversify? So yes, Donna Kay, I agree with you. I think the diversification is great. I mean, I have about 6, I checked it out recently, about 6 different streams of income. And I set it up that way because I understand, just like a farmer, that some years cotton has a bad year or barley has a bad year. But you know what? Strawberries kicked butt. Yeah. So if we, and that's the whole meaning behind putting all of our eggs in one basket, we want to be diversified in the event that some crop has an off year, but we're still doing what we love, right? I would only want to spend my time in this world doing what I love. That's the only acceptable way for me to spend time. Why? Because the dance is fairly brief. I damn sure don't want to spend it living someone else's plan and then all of a sudden begin to look down and notice liver spots, wrinkles, and now it's time to die.
Right.
And I never paid attention to what I really wanted to do with my life. Unacceptable for me. I'm not preaching. I'm admitting. You want to show the video, Ken?
I'm in total agreement. I need to, if I show this, I need to say that there are going to be inappropriate things this guy says. Just being completely real.
I don't think we really have a huge kids audience, Ken.
Right. That's a great point.
So Donna, thanks. It sounds like we're on the same page, dear.
Donna is scheduled to be on my show, by the way.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
She's scheduled. I forget what the date is, but she's scheduled for, I believe, this month.
You know, I was so in love with my building, Ken, that was here in Texas where I taught actors. And I did love it. I absolutely loved it. But I was so in love with it that it didn't occur to me that when COVID hit, that I was a matter of weeks away from having students in New York, Phoenix, Michigan, Atlanta,
Australia.
And I was going to add that as the coup de grace, and that I would someday be teaching a young woman in Australia. And that only came about because of COVID, because COVID forced a decision. It didn't make me go online, but what it did force is you either go online or you lose your workshop.
Yeah.
One of the two. And it made it very easy to choose. And then you helped me get online. And all of a sudden, my Tuesday night class that I teach is for someone else, their Wednesday day class in Melbourne, Australia, which is, you know,
it's amazing.
It's beautiful. So I think it's about keeping our cool when the crap hits the fan. Don't freak out, but rather tap into your entrepreneurial mindset and think, what can I do with this circumstance that seems to be wreaking havoc on a lot of lives, but does it have to wreak havoc on mine? Or can I do something in consciousness first, followed by action, that will create an override and allow me to somehow bolster things and thrive during this time that is challenging? And I think it's available, but I think it's done here and here first. And if you get these two working together, that's a pretty powerful combination.
I agree. Totally agree. Let me share this. I have not, for the record, I've not seen this video.
Well, then hopefully it will be completely offensive.
He's done some offensive things. And hey, I want to say hello to Mark and say, Mark, I'm so sorry for the loss of your father. Mark's father passed away. I think it was 2 days ago, Mark?
Sorry for your loss, Mark.
Sorry for your loss. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, Mark. But bro, I love you, man, and I've kept you in my thoughts and prayers. And his father meant the world to him, and I just want to say, love you, man. Been thinking a lot about you. So our
arms reach themselves out and around you, brother.
Yeah,
we all get our turn in the barrel, don't we?
We do.
So we're with you.
Let's watch this. Let's see if we can bring some laughter to this, because I think you'll love this guy. So here, I'll mute myself too. We're not redistributing, right?
If you're a newcomer tonight, new in recovery, there's a few things that I want to get straight right away. I'm not an expert on anything healthy. I was on the radio in Chicago, and the DJ, he says he was a normal person. Normal tonight means most. That's all it means. Doesn't mean better, more blessed. In fact, I think some addicted creatures are so skilled and have so many gifts. It takes us a lot of years to pay attention to what we've lost and the list of loss before we ever try to get help. That's why we get here late. Now, on the other side of that, I've never seen anybody get to recovery too late or too old. Never. I've seen people quit too soon. So that being said, if you're in your first year of recovery, there's this thing called the 13th step that they want you to stay away from. And I will second that. Relationships when you're new, horrible 13 step. Go right to 14. That's banging an old timer. That is okay. That's all right. That's fine. Yeah, we want that to happen. You know who really likes that joke is old timers. They like that joke a lot. So now for the normal people, I got something for you too. There's a whole bunch of material I have tonight that's for the two groups of people I'm looking at. I'm looking at two groups, always two groups. 24 years of doing this. I got sober in 1988 and clean, if that's your word. If you're an NAAA person, I got language that won't fracture anyone. Amazing how we get so particular about words. You know, we'll survive years of abuse, but you can offend us with a sentence. Mixed message there, right? It's like having a pitcher of margaritas watching Intervention. It just doesn't really make sense, right? Normal people don't clap for that. They don't clap for that. It sounds reasonable. Sure, why not? Yeah, that's a tough show to watch sober. Yeah, where? So that's funnier than hell. I've never said that on stage before. I like that. I'm glad we're recording tonight. We're making a film tonight too as part of the documentary I'm filming. It's called One Night at a Time. And the thing is that cameras add 10 pounds. We got 5 of those. So I had to get back to my freebasing weight from the 80s. Not a lot of normal people in this room tonight, I can tell you. But there are two groups of people on the planet, normal and the rest of us. Normal means most, and most people have a different language because of the experience they've had. Normal people don't display the behavior that the rest of us have. Normal people never drive drunk. Never. It's illegal. I know, right? Look at the rest of us. Well, how far do you have to go? I mean, you know, and how drunk were you? There are levels. You know, 0.08, that's just getting started on a Saturday morning. And whose car was it you were driving, really? I mean, because we don't own a lot, right? Normal means most. Most people don't ever try methamphetamine, even if it's free. I never understood that one, really. It's free, and you're not going to do it. No, that's it's unhealthy. That's what I heard. See you later. They wouldn't snort methamphetamine because it's painful. Look at the rest of us. Well, to a degree, yeah. Yeah! Oh, my eyes! What's that? Oh, God. Normal people would quit right there. No, I'm done. I got to go home. The rest of us go, can I buy some of that from you? Methamphetamine is actually a good weight loss product. I tried it. I just ate quicker. Look at the normal people. Does this ever get healthy, this show? Does it ever? Yeah. We have a different language because we have a different vocabulary because we have a different experience. You know, normal people, they hear the word tweak. It means enhance something. The other people, the rest of us, we have words that don't work for normal people, and normal people have words that don't work for us. Normal people use words like hope, adulthood, parenting, mortgage, 401k, retirement. Look at the rest of us. Yeah, fine, whatever. The rest of us use words like allegedly, probable cause, and the 4 greatest words in the English language, sentences to run concurrent. There are normal people that go, I saw that on Law and Order. Had no idea what it meant at the time. And if you watch Law and Order, you get to see either some kind of a peripheral problem to the addiction population, or you get to see your past. Now, I know what you laugh at tonight will tell me who you are. It's not hard for me to figure out with all the material I have who's whom in the room. It's not, and that's not to out who you are, but I hope you're comfortable enough to know that you have a humor muscle that God gave you. If you're not a God person, don't let that word fry you, and I'm no threat to you. This is not church, but I don't care when you get the jokes. But this show, if you're Baptist, hardcore Sunday, go to meeting person every week, never miss, you'll love this show. It's kind, it's got heart, there's some substance to it, there's a place of grace I occupy. If you're a hardcore atheist, you're going to love the show too, and we're just going to say God bless you as you travel. So if you're agnostic, hey, whatever. I admire your casual connection and root for your eventual epiphany. There is no threat to you today if you have a God, don't have a God, have a specific God. You know, I grew up Catholic, and because I'm divorced now, there's kind of a fracture there in the relationship. You know, my ex-wife and I, the plaintiff, she's a phenomenal person. Normal people don't clap right there for that reference. Like, yeah, me too, man. Yeah, we got an annulment, which is the Catholicism version of the Lemon Law. And Thank you. Yeah, thanks. That's brand new and still a little painful, to be honest with you. It's okay.
I'll stop, man. That's an hour and 20 minutes, that piece. I'm sitting here in tears. Like you're muted still, by the way, bro. That is, and I've referred to my ex many times as the plaintiff because of.
I don't even think he said the. I think he introduced her as my ex-wife, plaintiff. He actually called her plaintiff like that was her name. I'm pretty sure if you rewind it, you won't hear the word "the" in there.
He says the. I heard he said that's one of his signature things is calling his ex the plaintiff.
Well, it was funny.
God.
It was funny.
So funny. He talks about in his, and I'm sure it's in there because I didn't even know that
he's got
video
great
existed,
stage presence. I
he
mean,
talks
you
about,
know.
Oh, dude, he talks about, you know, an alcoholic and a pot smoker. He's like, when an alcoholic is, you know, driving a car, they're like one eye's closed, trying to make sure they're okay. And a pot smoker is just really chill and driving like 30 miles an hour slower than everybody else. And like, you know, he talks about how a codependent will like blame the tree that the alcoholic hit. It's the tree. Who put a tree in the middle of the road? Oh my God. And it's just funny, man. He is hilarious. So I'm telling you, audio is delayed. You guys are an old karate movie.
Well, that's funny.
Well, I hope it catches up. Oh, it is so funny. His name is Mark Lundholm. L-U.
How do you spell the last name?
It's Lundholm. And that's that bit right there is called One Laugh at a Time. And,
yeah, I mean, if he were one of my students, I would have given him high marks for that.
Oh, because
from a performance standpoint, he took all the right beats. You know, his movement was good, his tonality was good. Everything about that presentation, from a creation point of view, was really excellent.
He tells this story. He goes, in his, it may be in that too, but he talks about, he goes, you know, one time I woke up and I was in a hospital bed and I was in a 4-point restraint. He goes, for you normal people, because he refers to normal people a lot. He says, for you normal people,
normies.
Yeah.
In the 12-step program, they say normies.
He says, for you normal people, what that means is both of my wrists and my ankles were secured to a bed. And he goes, and all I could do is lift my head up and look from one end of the room down to the other. He goes, so I lift my head up and I look down. There's one other guy down this long room in another bed, and he's in a 5-point restraint. And he goes, what that means is both wrists, both ankles, and his head is all secured to the bed. He goes, and my first thought was, loser. It's just, oh, it's so funny, man. He is hilarious. He is, and he's just absolutely hilarious. But
hey,
anyway,
Ken, I need to go, brother. I need to go eat some dinner. I am hungry, and it's 11:25 at night.
You have to go?
I do. I haven't had my din din, and I'm really, really getting some hunger pangs.
Wow.
I don't want it to turn into being hangry.
Well, then let's tell everybody good night.
We've done 90 minutes. That's a good amount of time for our show.
I know, man. The time goes by fast anymore.
I think we added some value to the world tonight.
I hope so. I hope so.
I'm going to go back and watch the news for a little bit. Leona, I love you too, darling. Hey, Leona, I have a question. The 2 Dallas Cowboy masks you made for me, and I love you for that. The one with the star that sits right on my nose, I still have. And the other one, I took it down with me to Louisiana when I was shooting that movie with John Schneider. And somehow, because we had to wear our masks on set, except when we were filming, but we had to be present on set with them until the last minute. Then we took them off. And anyway, I don't have it. And I put notice out for everyone to look for it when I left. They haven't found it. I'm sure that some either Cowboy fan picked it up and hung it up as a banner. They're probably not trying to use someone else's mask. Or if it's a Steelers fan, they might have set it on fire.
I was literally getting ready to say those exact words.
Yeah, well, I know you're kind. But if you have another one, which was the one with all the busy Cowboy activity, I would be happy to pay you for that, darling. I would love to pay you for it. But if you could make me one more of those masks, not the one with the single star, but the one that had all the Cowboy logo, I loved that mask, and I cannot find it. So I'm sure it got left in Louisiana.
Dude, Charles Coachman, he was in the group coaching last night.
Yeah, I love Charles.
That guy, man, what a good dude.
He got a lot of heart.
Oh, he is. Oh, she's a Steelers fan?
Yeah, she told me that the other day when she found out I was from Dallas. She said we might have. She basically let me know we might have to overcome a few things in order to be friends. Now. But listen, Nicole, Ken's my bestie, and
here we go.
He loves Steelers, so it's okay.
Steelers, here we go. All right, dude. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Thank you.
Oh, Leona has the fabric for me. Look at that. That's nice.
Look at that.
Will you look at that? Will you just look at it?
Brigitte says, don't wear masks too long. Hey, Brigitte, you'll be happy to know that I have never worn a mask. That's what I'm talking about right there. Joe Ingram says, good night, all. Signing off live from Charles Coachman's closet. Oh my God.
Sometimes we have no idea what Joe is saying.
I know what he's talking about. You missed it. You missed it. You weren't there. It's a reference from the coaching call. It's so funny. Nicole, I used to live in Dormont, so I love the Berg. My wife's mother is from Pittsburgh. She was born and raised there. So
you know what I love when I go to Philly is I'd love to go have a good cheesesteak.
Their cheesesteaks are good, but yeah.
What do I eat when I'm in Pittsburgh? Other than crow for being a Cowboys fan.
Well, yeah, generally they don't let you in. Let's see, let me think. What's the one place I had
Nicole said Upper St. Clair with family in Dormont.
That's awesome. I used to live right on Potomac. If she knows where Potomac is, it's like the steepest road. Dude, this road, and I am not exaggerating, this road is like I don't know, it's got to be, it's steep. And you go straight up this road, and in the winter, you come down this road, and there's a stop sign, and like sometimes you can't stop, and it's a light, and it's a really busy highway that you're trying to stop at. It's insane.
There was a place I remember, it was called Pat's, that I went, and there's another place right across the street from Pat's in Philadelphia where you get a really good cheesesteak.
Pierogies right there. Pierogies. So
look at this. Nicole remembered for you.
Yes, pierogies.
It took her one show to become part of our staff.
They're right. She could be our fact checker.
She's our fact checker. She's our go-to gal.
As long as she's not going out and checking with the wrong fact check sites. But anyway, JR has an early shoot tomorrow. Good night to you, brother. Good night.
Good night, JR.
Another really good dude, man. But if you take the incline, have you ever been on the incline in Pittsburgh, Glenn?
No.
The incline is this old cable car, takes you up the side of a mountain, way up, and you go to the top of Mount Washington, and you get out, and you can walk around the streets up on top of Mount Washington. It overlooks downtown Pittsburgh. It's so beautiful.
Right. Oh, I've actually stood on that mountain and looked over Pittsburgh across the river.
So you drove
down
up
below.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? And so if you go up there,
don't sign us off. I'm going to look at my cell phone and find a photograph that I took from that vantage point.
Wow. She says the incline is amazing. My father grew up in Mount Washington. Oh, wow. So when you get to the top of Mount Washington, you get out of the incline, you go to the right, and there's a really big viewing area that you can go walk out on. It's this big concrete thing. And then across from that, you walk up this street, and I forget the name of this place, but there's a little restaurant on the left. Forget the name of it, but it's a haunted. It's an old house that they turned into a restaurant that's haunted. And Jill and I have been up there multiple times, had brownies with ice cream, and oh, it's just.
Here is what I dream of before I show you that photo. Here is what I dream of. I took this last night, and I was, I'm always seeking some sort of guidance. And my cats were showing me last night what they think we need to be doing between Democrats and Republicans. Okay.
Yep.
Here's what we need to be doing.
Oh my gosh.
Now, hold on, watch. I'm adjusting to get a better view.
He stopped and looked at you.
Is that beautiful or
wow?
what?
Wow.
So those two are brothers.
Wow.
And he's just taking care of his bro, And I think that this is really, I think they figured out something with regard to political differences.
Amen.
That's like you and I, well, almost. Maybe that's pushing it a little bit, but
yeah, you're not licking me, bro.
Here's my mom looking at big text the other day.
Oh, wow.
That's at the state fair.
Yeah.
I told you that what we did, and there's mama looking at the state fair.
No.
Man, that's a very, very significant photo.
Yeah.
For me. Hold on just a minute. I got some great stuff, but I want to find this one photo that is Pittsburgh. Here's a little fun, Ken.
Oh, wow.
That's my brother Brian and I.
Wow.
Brian's my brother that passed away last year. Here is what the end of the bed usually looks like.
Jeez.
That's only 4 of the 7.
Wow.
But I'm giving you guys a little tour through this. But I'm going to find that one in Pittsburgh because I loved it. Talk about something interesting for a moment while I find this.
I know something interesting. Did you know that you have a thing in your iPhone photos that will allow you to search by a map, and you can like zoom right in on Pittsburgh?
Oh, really?
If you took it with your iPhone, yes.
Let me show you first a photo that I'm going to send in to the city council, I guess, or city of Nashville.
Oh, look what Nicole said.
Oh, that's funny. So listen, Nicole, you'll appreciate this since you live in Nashville. But I took this photo of Nashville, and it's one of the most beautiful photos. I took it 2 years ago. I was there doing a movie. Check this out. It's just lovely Nashville. Yeah, there it is. So,
wow. That is not lovely. Do you know how to? Yeah, and Joe said you can, and he's right. You can also type in Pittsburgh in the search. Did you know that?
Are you serious?
If you go to photos, and if you go back to the main down at the bottom, you'll see a little search icon.
Oh, wait. Should I do this? I'm almost on it.
Click
right
on
now.
that and type in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'm going to start all over, and I'm right next to it. Do you want to just give me a minute?
No.
Or you want me to do it your way?
And now the end is near. No, dude, do it your way.
I mean, I'm almost there. Wow. I found it.
Uh-oh.
Would this by chance be the view you're talking about? And I took this photo myself. You ready?
That's it. That is it. Yes,
there's
sir.
the view. So I took that from Mount Washington.
Look, let me show you one that's similar. Here. Looky. Glenn.
Yeah.
Look. Same
wow.
Same
Nice.
shot at night.
How about this? With Three Rivers Stadium. See if you can spot it in the distance.
Joe, you stole my line, dude. I almost said that.
Do you see the yellow there?
Yep, I see it.
There's the yellow bridge, and then if you follow it, you'll see Three Rivers Stadium over there. It is.
Yep. I see it.
Pretty cool, huh?
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Yep.
So, I'm open-minded. I went to Pittsburgh.
That's awesome, dude.
Dude, I travel everywhere. I've been to all 50 states. I've been all over the world. And I'm just showing you the love, Joan. Here's some of the love, baby.
Look at that.
Look at that. Pennsylvania.
Wow. There's Abigail and I on the incline with the city behind us. Look.
Oh, nice.
That's the city in the background.
Oh, that's actually while you're riding up the incline?
Yep. Or down. We were riding up or down there, but yeah. It's such a beautiful, I'll tell you, the very first time I went to Pittsburgh, I was driving. Oh, look at you and Supergirl. I love that show, by the way.
Wait a minute. Let it focus.
Here, let me.
Ever going to focus?
Pull. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, there we are.
That's awesome, dude.
Not everybody has a photo with Supergirl, but I did that series for a season.
What's her name?
Oh, I just call her Super.
Oh. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Eat.
Love you.
Don't hang up. Don't hang up.
You guys have a delightful weekend, and we will see you Sunday evening when we will have probably more purpose to our show than tonight. But we will be in your lives at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time, 5 Pacific for the Ken and Glenn Show with the guy named Scott.
Yeah. So we'll see you all Sunday evening.
You guys have a blessed night.
Have a wonderful night.
Indeed.
Dude, thank you, man. This has been fun.
Beautiful weekend, guys. Mwah.
See you guys.